Welcome to the fifth in my series on Pirkei Avot. We are now moving on to the fifth text in the first chapter. This starts off with a connection from the previous text. Yossi ben Yochanan, Yossi, the son of Yochanan, Ish Yerushalayim, a man of Jerusalem. Now, just as a callback, this is a direct callback to the previous text in which both him, Yossi, son of Yochanan, the man of Jerusalem, and Yossi, son of Yoezer, man of Tzreda, received something from both Simon the Righteous and Antigonus, the man of Socho. They received something, whether it was Torah, whether it was some sort of religious leadership, whether it was a mantle of more broader peoplehood leadership, it's unclear, or whether they were just simply, maybe they were representatives of something. Not clear, but this is a callback to the previous text. He says three things. We saw that there were three things in yesterday's text, and as I mentioned before, 3 is a very common number in Pirkei Avot. He says three things. The third one is going to be really intriguing. He says, let your house be open widely. Let people come. Let people, in whatever it is, make it a place where people are welcome. That's the first one. The second one is, let poor people be members of your household. That's a pretty radical one. The first one was already strong enough as far as let it be wide open, let people come. This one is not just letting poor people into your house, but making them really as members of your household. This is a pretty strong, almost extreme, not just simply let poor people in, but make them part of your house. It's a pretty extreme statement. And then he goes even further. Don't chat a lot with the woman. Now, it's commonly translated as engage not in too much conversation with women. Here it says with the woman. So don't chat a lot. Clearly, this is a very androcentric text, meaning this is, right, it's being spoken by a man, and presumably he's talking to another man. Don't speak a lot with women. Now, he doesn't give a reason. He just says don't do it. Now, interestingly, the text continues. It seems almost as if it's a later commentary, still old, still part of Pirkei Avot, just after not part of Yossi, son of Yochanan, man of Jerusalem statement. But it continues. They said this of his own wife. All the more so, this should be about one's friend's wife. Don't speak a lot with her, which is interesting. You might think this is just about any woman. No, this is about one's own wife. So certainly, don't talk a lot with. Don't just chit chat with someone else's wife. That's not a good stuff, because this is now it goes further. From here, Mikan Amru Chachamim. From this statement, the sages said. So this is a group of sages, also men, speaking to other men. From here, the sages said, all the time that a man increases chatter with a woman causes bad stuff to happen to himself, and he loses out on Torah learning. And ultimately, as if that's not bad enough, ultimately, v'sofo yoresh gehinom. And in the end, he will inherit Gehenna. Now, Gehenna is a term basically for kind of like hell. It's definitely not a good situation for sure. So it like there's basically 3 aspects to this chit chat with women aspect. We have the statement of Yossi, son of Yochanan, man of Jerusalem, who says, don't speak a lot with a woman. Then it says, they were talking about his own wife, all the more so one's friend's wife. And then from there, the sages said, really, man, whenever you speak a lot with women, you chit chat a lot with women, bad stuff's going to happen. Nothing good will come out of it. So, not the most. I will say, it's not hating on women. It's not misogynistic. It's not. Maybe on the face of it, it might seem like a misogynistic text. I think in their in their context, in their social context, speaking a lot with women, it pulls away from one's ability to spend time learning Torah. This is a clearly articulated value here. Also, this interesting line of it causes bad stuff, causes wickedness, causes evil to oneself, and you can ultimately inherit Gehenna. I think also there's the potential, potential that's opened up, a vulnerability that maybe some sexual impropriety could occur. But I also wonder, what is it? How were women in that society? Also, what does that mean to speak with them? In which context were one speaking with women, and also, like, what were people speaking about? Right? Did men engage in certain topics of discourse and women in totally different? And then when men and women came together, where would this be taking place? Would this be taking place in the marketplace? What are the contexts for this? So I don't think it's like nowadays, for instance, where people work together, people see each other, and maybe they just were maybe more segregated by gender and had very different arenas of social discourse, and that it really it could have easily escalated to basically inappropriate relationships forming. So that's what it sounds like. And that definitely took a turn and it went pretty extreme there. So I don't know, for this Yossi, son of Yochanan, man of Jerusalem, I don't know how. It's interesting because he could have just said, don't talk a lot with women, and then that was it. But then it started ratcheting it up. The sages said this, so. But Yossi, son of Yochanan, man of Jerusalem, has some really interesting viewpoints and opinions here that he articulates. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for watching. And thank you. Stay tuned for more.